Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. Multiple US bombers circling off Venezuela right now. This is a big breaking news, red alert. Once again, multiple US nuclear bombers circling Venezuela right now. Alright, I want to show you some of this stuff here, guys. Once again, please share the video. Two US B-52 Stratofortress long-range bombers circling off Venezuela right now. An apparent attempt to intimidate Maduro. Now, last night I posted a video that these bombers were flying over Texas. Alright, so I want to bring this one up too. There were 3 U.S. Air Force B-52 bombers with 2nd Bomb Wing station at Boxdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, flew an extremely unusual route earlier today, flying over the Gulf of America. So you have 3, not 2. So once again, through the Yucatan Channel, that's Mexico, and over the southern Caribbean to the south of Cuba and the Dominican Republic. The flight was likely part of the U.S. President administration ongoing campaign against these gangs off the coast of Venezuela as a show of force against the gangs in the country as well as Nicolas regime. We're going to see what's going on here, guys, but now it's 3 of them, of these, nuclear bombers out there. Alright, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support is what keeps us on air. So U.S. nuclear bombers buzz Caribbean in message to Maduro. 3 U.S. B-52 Stratus bombers took a dramatic detour over the Gulf Yucatan Channel, a southern Caribbean right past Cuba and Venezuela. Wow. Part of the U.S. President anti-gang campaign. The flight doubles as a sky-high warning to both the cartels and, once again, Nicolas. Because nothing says stop the you-know-what product like a flying Cold War flex at 30,000 feet. Wow. What are your thoughts, guys? Leave comments down below on this one here. This is a big breaking news. Wow. Hold on, guys. We do have some more breaking news coming out. Ooh, hold on. Venezuelan F-16s are airborne from El Libertado Air Base in Uruguay. Yikes. Things are not looking good right now, guys. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. American B-52 bombers in the air near Venezuela. Also, make sure you check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the description box. I post 3 videos over my 3rd channel. I post one here earlier today. Notifications were not sent out. The platform is not sending too much notification. But I believe you got the notification for this one here. But do me a favor with your support. Share the video and hit that like button. Thank you so much, guys. 2 U.S. Air Force B-52 Stratofortress bombers were observed flying inside the Maiquetía Flight Information Region north of Los Luques, Venezuela, on Wednesday afternoon, as tensions between Washington and Caracas continue to build. At the time of writing, the aircraft remained visible on public flight tracking sites, where they appeared to circle repeatedly within the Venezuelan control FIR before briefly disappearing from civilian radar, and then reappearing as they continue south. The flight path brought the bombers close to La Ochila and Gran Roque, both Venezuelan islands with military facilities. Now, the movement coincided with the division of a U.S. deportation flight that had been scheduled to land at Maiquetía Airport, which instead routed to Puerto Rico. Observers and social media suggested the division may have been linked to the B-52 presence, though no official's connection has been confirmed. Now it says here, the flight profile is consistent with long-range training and deterrence patrols routinely conducted by B-52s from Barksdale Air Force Base across the Caribbean. Now, these missions often test endurance, navigation, and joint coordination with regional partners while remaining within international airspace. Now, however, the proximity of this particular patrol to Venezuelan territory and its visibility on open tracking platforms suggested a deliberate signaling exercise intended to reinforce U.S. reach and readiness in the region. Now, the B-52 Stratofortress is a long-range strategic bomber that has been in continuous service since the 1950s. The current B-52H model is powered by 8 TF-33 turbofan engines and has a wingspan of about 185 feet with a total length just over 159 feet. It was built to carry large payloads over intercontinental distances, and that design focus still defines its role today. And despite its age, the airframe remains structural and sound and adaptable to modern mission requirements. So this bird has been around for almost 100 years. Can you believe that? "70 years. I just received a breaking news just now. Hold on, give me a second here. Something big just broke. I just received a notification. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. An Air Force C-32 aircraft carrying Pete has reportedly declared a flight emergency while over the Atlantic Ocean. Wow. I didn't read the entire article. I mean the title. I just read the part where it says an Air Force C-32 aircraft carrying Pete Hegseth, and I stopped right there, and I'm like, the first thing that came to my head, I'm like, please don't tell me this bird went down. This is that was very concerning right there. All right, so whew. Wow. So again, we're gonna get to this news. Let me just finish the B-52 bombers. Man, that was that would have been big breaking news, like really bad news. So the aircraft cruised at around Mach 0.8 and can reach altitude of up to 50,000 feet. It is designed for endurance with the ability to fly more than 8,000 miles without refueling. Wow. So in practice, its range is virtually unlimited when supported by air-to-air refueling. A typical crew of 5 operates the bomber, handling flight control, navigation, electronic warfare, and weapons management. It says here, the B-52 payload capacity remains one of the largest of any combat aircraft. It can carry approximately 70,000 pounds of weapons. 70,000 pounds. Man! That's crazy. Internally and external pylons. Now, the loadout can include precision-guided bombs, cruise missiles, and maritime strike weapons, as well as nuclear munition if required. That flexibility has made the aircraft useful in every major conflict involving U.S. air power for more than 60 years, from conventional strike to deterrence patrols. Over time, the bombers have been repeatedly upgraded with new electronic communication radar and a defensive system. Current plans include a comprehensive re-engine program and further avionics updates to support service into the 2050s. Man. Okay. So give me a second here. So once again, this is what's going on. These bombers are out there. And at the same time, Venezuela just deployed their F-16s. Once again, 2 US B-2 Stratus Fortress bombers. You have the Bunny 01 and Bunny 02. Flew within 100 up to 240 miles of Caracas today, circling over the southern Caribbean for several hours before returning to the U.S. So it came back to the U.S. The flight stayed in international airspace but sparked alarm in Venezuela. The Venezuelan military scrambled jet and went on alert. That was very close. Very, very close. Look at that, guys. That's not too far from Caracas. Man, we're talking about the capital. Wow. Give me a second. You have Caracas right here. Caracas. That's the B-52 bomber. That was really close to the capital. Wow. Now, let's see what's going on with this emergency news from the Secretary of War, which is very important news here, guys. Very important. There's a well, people are saying what happened to Pete Hegseth's plane might have been a bird that hit it, or something. Give me a second here. Here we go. Please share the video, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hold on. So it was out there near London. Air Force C-32 carrying Pete Hegseth declares in-flight emergency over the Atlantic. Once again, emergency over the Atlantic. Just in, a U.S. Air Force C-32 aircraft carrying Secretary Pete Hegseth has reportedly declared an in-flight emergency while traveling over the Atlantic Ocean, according to flight tracking data and multiple early reports. Man. You have jets. The jet, which had been cruising at high altitude, dropped to approximately 10,000 feet and reversed course back towards the UK, signaling a serious onboard issue. The aircraft also began quacking 7,700, the transponder code used intentionally to indicate a general emergency such as engine failure, fire, or a medical crisis. Man. As of the latest available data, the aircraft was safely descending towards the UK for a potential emergency landing. There are no confirmed reports of injuries or the specific nature of the emergency at this time. Wow. The C-32 is a U.S. Air Force variant of the Boeing 757 commonly used to transport senior Gov officials and cabinet members. Secretary Hexeth, a former Army officer and television commentator, was reportedly returning from officials' engagement in Europe. Emergency crews in the UK have been placed on standby as the aircraft proceeds towards its diversion airport. The U.S. Air Force and Department of Defense have not yet issued an official statement regarding the situation. Wow. So this is the one right here. Emergency in the Atlantic. I'm glad that everything is good. I mean, when I read that title, I'm like, no. Again, I just read a little bit of it. I'm like, don't tell me that bird went down with Hexeth in it. I mean, that would have been really bad. Like, man. Is this good or bad? Rosler said. Most likely something, possibly a bird strike or a mechanical issue with one of the engines. Nothing's confirmed yet, though, about what type of emergency it is. That's very true. I just read that news article to you guys. But boy, oh boy, that was a wake-up call there. Once again, the Air Force C-32 carrying Secretary Pete has declared an emergency over the Atlantic, dropped to 10,000 feet, and now reverse course to the UK. Plane is, we already know the rest, but man. Wow. I'm glad that everything's okay, though. I'm glad that everything is okay. So you got some emergency stuff going out there in the Atlantic and also the Caribbean. Venezuela F-16 are reportedly airborne from El Libertado Air Base in Uruguay. Man. Alright guys, so this is where we are right now. Check out the videos I posted today. All the links will be in the description box. Triple check your notification bell, guys. A lot of many of us has been reporting a decrease of views. So this is happening to a lot of us. It is, and please continue praying for us. Many got hit, but a few made it out. So again, continue praying for us and pray for those who are also going through the same situation. Again, I feel your frustration out there. Just stay strong, and eventually things will get better. God will reward those watchmen and watchwomen. But at the same time, guys, we are seeing some hit here. Please share the video. Thank you again for your support. Till next time later. Peace.